should be relatively quick. Welcome to Overwatch. Welcome to another episode of Probing the Many. Today we're going to finish off looking at day number 2 of the Overwatch League Finals. If you are watching the VODs, then this is literally being recorded right after the first one, but otherwise, hello. If you are watching this live and you're terribly confused about why I'm re-introing a stream that you are already a part of, it's the magic of producing content. Okay, let's get on the go. Let's get going with this. Right, so day number 2 was an interesting one, and you could tell that like people were... the atmosphere had changed going into day number 2. Like the people were basically really impressed with how well London had played in day number 1. So it was very sort of different. The atmosphere was much more one of, can Philly bounce this back in any real way? Can Philly do anything to make this happen for them? And the answer generally was, like, the overall consideration was, they're good enough. They're good enough to do it, but they really sort of have to pull this out. Like, London looked way stronger overall. Despite it being close in places, that didn't seem to sink into the crowd too much. They saw the 3-1, they saw that London won out these dramatic fights, and at the end of the day, that was enough. That was enough for people to sort of really rally behind London as, yeah, they're going to be able to do it. They're probably going to be able to win this one. We have this nice video, narrated by a nice person. We got all these... But I didn't show the intros on the first one, but it really did hurt me inside. Like, I'm glad that Poco, like, does something, because it feels like all of Philly just didn't do anything, especially on day 1. Let's speed this one up. Right, at least they're doing stuff now. The first time they did this, Philly just like walked out and stood there. It's just like, come on. Like, the fact that if London Spitfire are looking more energetic than you, and you're Philadelphia Fusion in front of like a home crowd, basically, are you nuts? Are you crazy? That ain't right. That ain't right. I'm probably a bit down in spirit. The thing is that on the first day, they were even less spirited. They were even less doing stuff. Talking. Like, London, you know... like, that's what Philadelphia looked like on day 1. They all walked out kind of wave, but, like... you know, London showing some spirit. Like, you're watching this and you go, please don't fall down the stairs. Please don't fall down the stairs. Please don't fall down the stairs. Please don't dab, either. So yeah, okay, enough intros. Gonna get all that advertising time. Yeah, Profit. This was nuts to see. This was really nuts to see. Profit with 47-16. Carpe was so quiet overall. 29-40. Very unusual numbers for Carpe. Profit really had like a lot of resources funneled into him, and I think for very good reason. Definitely just incredible. Monty and Doa looking fab as ever. Okay, starting off on Junkertown. Junkertown, a map that I think is bad for both teams in theory, but Philly have generally been considered very spotty on this map. So it's like, this is not the start that Philly want to hear, that you're starting on Junkertown tomorrow. It was very interesting that it was all green. It was after people have been roared into a frenzy by that electrifying DJ Khaled concert that was just as terrible in real life as it was on the stage, or was on Twitch, so you didn't miss anything with that. You know, single dab stream? Never. Never. Okay. London going to be playing standard. Going to be playing typical. Just what you would expect. One more karaoke stream. The karaoke stream killed me. Jesus. That was a lot harder than I was expecting. You guys made that way more difficult than it needed to be. Let's have a breakdown of the Khalid performance. It was just a bit... the man could not read a crowd. It was so bad that Penny Arcade made a comic about it. It was terrible. Okay. So, starting out, again, mono support comps, not too surprising here. They're running Boombox this time. I think it's, you know, after yesterday's performances, maybe they wanted Boombox out there instead of Hotbar. But they're going to change it up, run the Bastion instead. So they spot out what the enemy's running, Boombox gets on the Bastion. They're going to be trying to look for that. The issue with the Bastion, like, if the enemy isn't running a Junkrat, then it's actually pretty, like, it does work, it is effective. It's just you got to be very, very careful not to get sort of ruined, I suppose. It's working for them. Like, there's not too much to really go in depth here just yet. There we are. So yeah, both records, like, Philly's record is terrible on this map. London's is actually better than I expected. Okay. So this is where you generally start seeing like contesting happening, right? This corner is generally where the action begins. What's sort of interesting to me is that EQO is this close, but Carpe's going to be like coming around the side here. Again, all typical Birdering, going to be looking for an angle on either of these two targets. Mostly wants to get rid of the snipers first before he can really do anything. You'll also sometimes see like a Roadhog like go over this way. Notice that Holt doesn't pull the Bastion. Big old kill onto Sado. That makes the Bastion just like instantly useless. You need that Arisa. You can see the Boombox now out of position, going to die. Very big kill on Sado. What prompted that exactly? Just a Holt hook. Simple as. Simple as. What's the reason for Roadhog in these comps? Shield break, damage, burst damage potential. Like, if you have, like, let's say that instead of Roadhog, London runs Zenyatta. Okay? That they run the Zen instead of the Hog. What's the Zen going to be doing most of the time? Well, he's going to be, like, shooting the barrier and shooting into a Arisa shield. What is going on with my mouse at the moment? There we go. He's going to be shooting into the Arisa shield, and that's kind of it. He's going to put a Discord orb on people, but not going to do anything. The Roadhog gives you a lot of shield break. It gives you a lot of the abilities to sort of get this combo going as well, to pull people. The Diva lets you counter that. That lets you stop them doing that to you, basically. Extra healing isn't going to make a big difference here. Like, everything does so much burst damage that Zenyatta's orb isn't going to actually make a difference. Discord orb doesn't affect stuff like Widowmaker and Hanzo too much. Doesn't change their ability to kill people too dramatically. It's either going to be 1 or 2 shots no matter what. So it's not really changing things there either. So yeah. I've been trying to give Overwatch League a help NBA Street Fashion style. I've heard that they want to change, like, I've heard rumors that they want to change the shirts, because the shirts are like more like football, like soccer jerseys, where they're like that very tight polymer, polyester sort of material that sort of clings to you. And if you've got a lot of fat dudes wearing stuff that clings to you, you get to see a lot of man boobs and like man bellies, and that's not great. That's not a great look. So I think they want to change up the look of the jerseys. That's why they're all being sold. Which I think is a really good idea. Like, I don't think that you need those fabrics, those materials that sort of cling and look tight. You want something that looks good when it's baggier. Dragon Strike, really good at killing Zenyatta, really good at killing Bastions, by the way. Like, once the enemy team gets that Dragon Strike train running, I think that this strat is kind of dumb. Boomer's going to try it, though. Gets the res, goes in with the tank form. It is a threat to be reckoned with, and they actually managed to pull this one back. But I'd say this is pulled back more on the back of... Again, remember I was talking about this on Eichenwald in the first half? There's almost this thing where a Dragon Strike comes out and gets results, and everybody like gets pulled in to that same spot, and then a Dragon Strike, counter Dragon Strike comes out and gets huge results, and that's sort of what ends up happening here. That's why I haven't bought one, yeah. Like, I have the jacket, like the half-colour jacket. I have a Fusion one and a London one. I haven't got to wear because it's super hot. And it's like the highlighting Neptuno's res and the configuration tank there, but I really do think that was EQO's Dragon Strike. Like, that's really what made that happen, what really made that work. Now, again, the silver lining, this is being mentioned, there's 2 silver linings here. One, London respawn with enough time to just retake high ground uncontested. That's really good, that's a nice position to be in. The other one is that there's no Dragon Strike. Dragon Strike on this point, when you're trying to hold from here, Dragon Strike is super dangerous. Because what the Hanzo can do is he can actually position behind where these guys are. You basically fire the Dragon Strike through the wall this way. Okay, it comes through the wall, and you've got nowhere good to go. There's nowhere nice to dodge to. You either dodge into the enemy team, or you just like try and jump out this way, which leaves you in a really bad position. It's a really effective position, and really, really powerful, and really difficult to deal with. So the Dragon Strike being gone, I see a nice little benefit to London. So there's the infra sites going off, just everyone keeping track of each other. Notice that Boombox isn't playing, just sat on the payload. He's actually trying to go high ground. Poco with a superb bomb. Holt sets that one up as well. Basically, Pro Team's using it as the mini Graviton Surge that it's always been destined to be. At least I think that was a Holt that did that. I like the fact that they're holding the corner here. They want to get Boombox set up somewhere good as well. The corner's a nice safe place to be. Boombox can sort of play around it, and now he can set up wherever he wants to. Beauty of a bomb, though, encounter. I think the mark to go for this bomb is literally when Boombox just turns. Boombox changes, Fury instantly throws the bomb. Straight away the bomb is going in on top of Boomers. It's nowhere good for him to run, gets 2. Neptuno going down there is the really big deal because now they can't res anything, now they can't do anything. London can just do what they like. Poco even getting stalled out. It's really bad news. Let him pick up the health pack, bounce him out, whatever. So you see the tank form come in, the bomb just goes straight there. There's, oh, that's dirty. I love it. Love it. Gesture's so good at doing that now. So this is what I was talking about, Dragon Strike being really good at clearing this spot. Prophet even gets pulled into it. I think he just jumped out and got dragged back in. Whoop. Interesting that it doesn't hit Gesture. Like, generally you see the Dragon Strikes coming literally through this wall. Would be a little bit unrealistic at this point to do it, I think, but it's just something to keep in mind. It's a cool little detail in Junkertown that you can put a Dragon... Like, if the enemy team is positioned here, you stand here as Hanzo, put the Dragon Strike through, it's really good at clearing that spot. But otherwise he's just playing from low ground at the moment. Just fired it through the floor. More than enough kills. Momentum heavily in their favour. Just got to push forward. Hunt around the corner. Easy. But this is where Junkertown gets difficult. The big open space, the fidget spinner, the battle hall, basically, where a little hamster made his name. This is where Junkertown to me really starts. Like, this is the true Junkertown. This is where teams tend to actually have a proper fight. This is where you generally see teams comps start really varying up what they're doing. So you see, like, Philly not going too ham on it, and no one's really changed up on non-Spitfire. They're holding on to this for now. Looking for some kind of angle. Bongo comes out as the payload starts moving forward, so they're going to use that to take some free space. London's just going to back away. They don't want to engage into the Bongo. They have no good resources. Halt hook. Ball and chain. Simple. After that kill, London could just bring things back. And London are not, again, London are going to do just what I was mentioning on the first half. Not going to give them an inch. They are just going to push all the way in every single time. They want to go as aggressive as possible, hold as aggressively as possible, and it's really, really potent. And what's nice, you can see that Prophet's going to occupy this space. Oh god, that Jesus. Prophet's going to occupy this space. He's basically going to be playing around in this area while he holds on to Dragon Strike. The rest of the team is just going to be playing here, try and pull people out, try and like drag people there. They can easily fall back if they need to. It's a good position to be in. So pretty simple so far. To me, the big thing here is like good use of Sonic arrows more than anything else as well. Like the fact that the enemy team has to come through this space means that Sonic arrows here are really powerful, really, really powerful. This is like a super nice little resource. So they use the Dragon Strike to start pushing out. London just fall back. Like I mentioned, London could just back away, no problem. Evil One goes in. Nice little duck away there, no results. Does actually manage to put Gesture out of position enough. I think Gesture took some damage. Nope, just gets shot in the bum, a hell of a lot. Finally, like, oh look, target focus out of Philly, who knew? It's actually pretty useful. Prophet Birdring not being controlled at the moment, now they're in trouble. Oh, I need to sneeze. Right, they're putting a lot of pressure on the tanks, but this is letting Battering and Prophet get away with murder. Losing Carpe, there's no res, so yeah, now they can just 2-man, 2v1 DQO. Pretty simple. Hey, Abroth, thank you so much for the 60 months, my man. Good stuff. And there we go. And again, London got to push this all the way, as far as they can, try and steal some free kills. Philly chasing things up. This is where I was in the crowd. I was quite excited by this. Philadelphia play a very, very, very good dive comp. So you kind of want to see them doing it. Do not underestimate the power of these two. Like, they could absolutely take over a game. So this is the Sonic arrow I was talking about. Like, it's such a powerful position. Because all he's doing is waiting for the mark. Mark, Holt goes in. Easy. Like, this isn't even complicated to set up. You know? I'm gonna kill the magic of it all, but you can see where they are. You can see where they're all going. Gesture literally throws out the Holt at the same time the Dragon Strike comes out. Everybody's trapped in there. It's elegant, it's clean, it's simple, it's so good. And it makes you wonder, like, this is where I have, like, you know, if anyone turns around and goes, oh yeah, no, Poco is the best diva in the Overwatch League, I would vehemently disagree. That Holt should not land. That Holt should absolutely not land. I think Fury's contribution here is underappreciated as well. Let's have a look. I think Fury comes in a little bit too late. Like, it's already going through. They're already all caught in it. Fury's just moving in. Just going in for the cleanup crew. I'm just shocked that the Holt wasn't eaten. And don't worry about making observations like that. Like, it's very difficult to, like, I'm in control of the replay, right? I can slow it down and go, actually, this happened, but if he did, like, he was guaranteeing it more than anything else, that is what I'll say. Like, if the Holt doesn't go through, Diva's still, like, cramming him in there anyway, so it's supposed to have layers going, I suppose. It's just good knowledge to go in there. Okay, so this is the danger. Oh, God, look at this. Oh. Just a split second off. You see that? You can see the tracer, the Widowmaker line. It's rough. It's rough. Again, I love the fact that London, and like the Brigitte swap here is going to put a nail in the coffin of this team comp, right? It makes it so much harder to do things with. But I love the fact that London just continue to hold this choke point. Like, they don't let them take any free ground. There's a tracer in the back line. Okay, that's an annoyance, but they have the tools to deal with it, right? They can spot it out. Battering has to worry about this, which is kind of annoying for him. But he can just play pretty casually. He can just play pretty straightforward. Like, they know where the enemies are. What is Sado doing? Sado, hello? Why? You don't have... He just jumps all the way into the back line. He does not have Primal Rage. What? And when you saw that, like, this is where you start getting really worried. This is where you're going, this looks like a team that is not firing on all cylinders. This looks like a team that is sort of just doing things individually and independently of one another. And until this point it was going really well, but now they're on the back foot and now it feels like it's starting to get to them. Right? Like, it's starting to really get to them. Sado does that a lot during the finals. I'd argue against that. I'd say he does that a lot on day 2. On day number 1, he was playing mostly okay. He had a few moments where he was a little bit overextended, but he was mostly okay. He was never in a position where, like, he literally just jumped into the back line to help a tracer that wasn't even being threatened with infrasight up. It was just bizarre. Like, it was really, really bizarre. Okay, London. They're teasing the Bastion. It's usually not their style. They usually don't play it, but like Korean teams in general seem to avoid the Bastion style strat, so it doesn't surprise me at all to see Bedosen instantly swap to the Roadhog. Double Sniper, Hog, good stuff. I love this little angle from Birdering just popping up over this wall. He's looking, hunts for the Widowmaker. The Widowmaker, though, is in the traditional position that's sort of for defensive Junkertown, like back behind the two boxes all the way back here. So Carpe is over here. Again, first corner. Close. Birdring bounced out, nice and safe. And again, this is where we're generally looking for the first couple of kills to come in. Whether they'll just do it by trying to just sort of snipe at each other, or whether someone will go on a crazy flank, who knows. How did this occur? Can we see where Prophet is? Can anybody see where Prophet is? I think he got halted probably on the way out. There he is. It's very difficult to make out, but it looks like he got halt hooked. He's killed off. Looking for opportunities, managed to get one. Literally just drags him through the barrier. Just annihilates him. They can't res that. That's the big thing. Prophet's going to come back a lot faster than Boomboxes. I remember Boombox had a really tough time. Like, he got focused. Huge kill from Prophet. Dragon Strike coming out as well. This fight is done. So again, Philadelphia seem to have this problem where they get an advantage and they seem to lose it. They seem to like lose control of it and throw it away a little bit. Who does he even jump? I don't know in that case. Like, Sato's jump back then might have been just to try and help the Tracer. He might have been anticipating that, you know, the Genji would follow him in and they can get onto something, maybe pressure Birdring out, but it just goes horribly wrong. Maybe he was aiming for a bit of the fidget spinner and missed. I don't know. It was not good, regardless. Prophet is on fire in the series. It's insane. Hey!
I love you.
Ah, I'm glad someone does. Other than my mum. And your mum. No. No, I shouldn't say that to herself. Thank you so much for the 3 months. Enjoy the shiny new icon. Right. Again, so far so standard. Like, not too much to really expect out of the back of this one. Resistance getting C, so London want to make a go at this one. EQO gets a nice kill onto Prophet, but they just res it anyway. Like, I think he just gets him around the corner, and so yeah. So Nuss can just pick him up. Let's just go for the shield break, go for the whole hog, push everything out. Like, whole hog plus bongo is really, really potent. Like, do not underestimate the damage that does. Again, Boombox halt hooked. Just keeps happening. And like, I don't blame Boombox for this one. Like, this is the thing. It'll be Poco. It'll be all too easy to like go, oh, this is Boombox's fault. But like, how is this Boombox's fault? You know, he's round the corner. It's like, why isn't this being caught? Why isn't this being stopped? Why is this shit just going through? Why are the kill shots going through afterwards? Like, if you're not going to catch the halt, then you at least defense matrix this shit. Right, the defense matrix needs to be on Boombox now so he can survive this. He can't do anything himself about this. He needs his team to save him, but no one is. And so this is why I have concerns about Poco. Like, this bomb, again, it's a beautiful bomb, right? It could not place it any better. Literally catches both sides of that wall. My god, it's incredible. But they shouldn't even be in that situation where they need that level of bomb. Your mom jumps to subs, unsubbing? Yes. Your mom unsub. Yeah, no, your mom subbed to me anyway, so I'll take the trade. No, just I shouldn't. And it's like, to me, it's very easy to be impressed by stuff like this, but to me, it begs the question of like, why are you in this situation in the first place where you need a 3k bomb? Right? How did you end up in this situation where things were already so fucking dire that Neptuno gets killed because Poco setting up a Diva Bomb? Like, what's happening here? Boombox gets killed. Like, where's the defense matrix during all of this? I saw a glimmer of it earlier. And I know I'm covering this a lot, but it feels very important to me to try and like point this out, that there feels like a major weakness here. Where it's like, defense matrix is on the floor, it's not up here. Okay, now Poco's so far back he can't protect Boombox. Not really making a big effort to come forward. Boombox dies. Neptuno goes for a res here. Ends up in front of the barrier, just gets gunned down and killed, and now Poco throws a bomb in. Poco's not covering the res, not doing anything to protect the res. He's bombing after the res,
Welcome to
and gets lucky with a couple of kills, but there's no guarantee that this happens every time, right? Hey, Banshee420 as well. Thank you so much for the 3 months. Again, enjoy your shiny new badge. And now Poco gets D-Max straight away. They just hammer him. He has no way of getting back into it, and this is a really bad place to be, because Diva can't reset easily here. Right, the spawn is miles away, so they have no mech. That's dicey. You need that mech, and so like I understand why the casters are like focusing on this, because it is a hype thing. It's an incredible bit of play, but Poco's still trying to remech. All they can do is fall back. Poco I think starts his remech. So you can see. 95%, 98%, 0%, literally as a dragon strike goes onto his forehead. Because they have infrasight, they know where he is, so they just park a dragon on him. Lel, dead. Prophet kills everybody. They should not have been in that situation in the first place. That's my argument. They should not have been in the situation when they needed those Diva Bombs to win that. And I think it's very easy to go, oh well, Boombox is dying a lot, but Boombox's job is to like find hooks and burst people down. It's Diva's job to protect him and facilitate him doing that, and that just kind of wasn't happening. Diva should get a suicide pill. A little bit of a grim way of phrasing that one. It should be like an emergent. You wouldn't call it a, you call it like emergency recall or something, where you just get sent back to the spawn. I think it'll be a shame though. I think there is like a strategy to demeching a Diva, and like if they're gonna do anything, I wouldn't mind them changing the baby Diva or something. Like give her Hanzo's jump, the dash. She'll be able to Glock herself with the bunny blast. Again, the game has like a teen rating. Let's keep that. I think they want to keep it. I don't think they want to have footage of a bratty Korean girl blowing her own brains out. London leaving the door open. Yes, this is huge. It's one of the weirdest things, but I love it so much. So London push forward while the payload cycles through. The door opens. As you know, takes time. So they're going to just try and take some ground. They get into this big scrap. It gets a bit messy. Starts going wrong. Nuss is like, well, I want to push the payload. You can see how torn he is. But the payload stays in this doorway. So instead of what happened to Philly, which is that they had to push through this angle again and again and again, the door is still open. So now London can actually come through here. Or here, or here, right? They actually have options, and so they're not going to get the same sort of trapped in the same way that happened to Philly. Instead, they have long sight lines available to them. They can shoot through here really easily, so Philly can't actually hold like London were. London were holding from here because there's a blind sight line here, there's a blind sight line here. You have no good angle to get shots in, but if this door is open, well, you can just stand back here and fire at it, right? And EQO and Carpe to fire back through it, they'd have to be on the ground, which they don't want to be. They want to be up here or up here. So it's like, this really works out for London. And the fact that Nuss like runs out, gets hooked and killed, it's just like, whatever, let this one go. Give Baby Diva a minigun with a tiny hitbox. She needs something. Like, give her like a charge-up shot or something. You know, like you hold right mouse button, it charges up and then fires off a huge one-shot kill headshot blast. Does 100 damage. And so London can just push back onto the point, right? Notice that Philly aren't holding like London were. They aren't holding here. They're like all the way back here. They're scared. They're paranoid. And so London like don't lose any time really. They just get right back on the payload. Bongo start pushing. They can kind of just do what they want. Bongo gives them great shield break. Philly have to fall back, fall back, fall back, fall back. And then it feels like Philly realise, well, shit, we can't fall back any further. Zero Suit Diva, yeah, basically. Like she got in HOTS. Yeah, like she has in HOTS. Right? This is like Philly spent all this time like pulling back. They're scared of the bongo. They're scared of everything. Can't do anything here. And then it's like, oh shit, we got to defend this. Oh no, there's a Dragon Strike. There we go. Ooh. And this just feels like continual errors coming out. Wow, look at this man. Look at how destroyed he is. Oh no. Oh no, he's unhappy. Why does Boombox walk back into the dragon? Because he realizes that he's fucked no matter what, I think. Like looking at it, like he starts running this way to come around, and he realizes sort of coming around this way is going to take way too long. Like there's no window here, I think. Actually, I think there is isn't there a window there? I think there is a window there. So he like gets stuck in this awkward position. He needs to get back, something like that. I don't know what's going through his head. Again, pressure, depression. Jeez, this guy's face. Like these are VIP badges, so this is a VIP area. So I'm guessing that's some sort of guest. Okay, control. Almost felt like they forgot what the finishing line was. Kind of. It just felt like they gave London too much space. They gave London too much respect. If I remember correctly, there's some interesting stuff that gets run here. Some Carpe. I see what they've done there. Right. So Philly, really good record on Lijiang. Like this is Philly's map. London's generally iffy on control. So you're watching this and you're like, well, if Philly's gonna spring back anywhere, it's probably gonna be here. Running, is it Pure Mirror? Pure Mirror. Yes, it is. It's Mirror Comps. So actually going real aggro here. Like London just get a good early sort of push in, right? They take a lot of good ground. Like being on the point is actually kind of a death trap. So I'm fine with London taking the rear of the point. There's a lot of line of sight to play with. It's all pretty good. They want to sort of push Philly onto the back foot. The real danger here is that, yeah, Badosin just gets picked off here or gets knocked off. That's what they're going to be really scared of. But they're all doing a good job surviving. Okay, now the real fight begins. You see how careful they're being? Poco just ends up isolated. Fury's going to hunt him down. Almost gets him. Gets the large health pack. It looks like it's not there, so he just runs around. It feels like London are just picking their fights better, right? They're picking their moments a lot better. Where they didn't just do what Philly did, which Philly kind of just stormed onto the point and then realized, oh shit, we don't need to be here. Fury survives on one hit point. It's more than enough. Looks okay. Looks like he's just playing defensively behind the point. Like, this is the thing with this point, is that playing from like the outside of the point to shooting in is a really powerful. There we go. That's the big chunk of damage. He picks up a health pack. He's fine. Like playing in the space around the outside of the point is super nice. If you're still trading, if they're not ticking up point, if you're just trading, this is a really good position to be in because you have all the line of sight. You have all the places you can defend from. It's really, really nice to be there. And so what you can do is you just play around in these exterior spaces. And you can take all the time you like because they're not ticking up on the point. So if they try and step into it, well, they're just stepping into an area where you can shoot them from here, you can shoot them from here, you can shoot them from here. It's going to be really difficult to sort of do anything with that. The other nice factor is, well, as we can see from Fury, you can just bounce out, pick up a large health pack, and then bounce right back in. So it's a really nice position to sort of take control of all of this exterior point. And especially because like Sado now gets sort of caught out and he's stuck in the middle, surrounded by threats. Now it's a little bit dicier. Ikyo almost gets onto Bedosin, but during all this, Poco's just ended up sort of isolated on the point. He's never going to take that on his own. Like, they need to have something happen. They need to have some impetus to make this really work. And now, well, Fusion has just been pushed out, surrounded and pushed into this little back area, and naturally now these kills are going to start coming through. They got compressed into this space, which they can't really afford to be there anymore. Let's London take control of the point, and now you can't just let London stand on the point. Now you got to get something done. And so you can see that London, they're not even going to try and like contest the point directly. Philly roll around the outside. London come into the garden. Right? They're going to play using a line of sight. Okay? So they're just going to take it slow, take it steady. They don't have to do anything. They can afford to try and let Philly try and do things. And as long as they're playing cleverly enough, well, it's A-okay. Gesture spots out where Boombox is. Boombox completely isolated. So I think this is a little bit of a mistake where Boombox just ends up in the same place as Carpe, because this is like Value Town. Like, one gesture is getting 2 basically kills for his bang for his buck. Neptuno does end up like retreating all the way over, but of course if Neptuno is here healing these guys and Boombox is trapped here as well, we got this cluster of 3 people that are basically being occupied by gesture. Everyone else in London Spitfire can just do what they want. Right? No one else is going to be surviving on Philly. Neptuno gets the res. Gesture's still fine. He can just go back in. Again, just isolate, focus down, try and kill. And it's like nothing can deal with London while all this is happening, because 3 people are being tied up by 1 Winston. Hardcore Fusion fan here, cries out tears. I was not happy with the performance. Like, Philly are better than this. Day 1 was okay. Day 1 was okay. Day 2 was a travesty. I think that people are overstating how much of a stomp Day 1 was. I don't think it was that bad. This, though, this is where it gets really difficult, because Night Market with Afara, you can sort of see it on the map. Like, Prophet is just going to play to hold this choke point, and just sort of play above it. Birdring can play from safely all the way back, and is just going to watch this. And so they can control this door super well. If they spot that they're going around this way, then Prophet can just sort of cycle through. Birdring can even cycle around over this way if he wants to, and they can just keep them occupied. Carpe is going to be on the Tracer. The idea with the Tracer on this map is that you try and pull some attention away from... So Carpe is going to go all the way around and try and sit on the point, maybe pull some attention away. It's not trying necessarily to go for a back cap, it's more just trying to occupy some attention and sort of create a threat that, you know, Birdring also needs to be aware of, because if they scare Carpe off the point, well, where is he going to go? He's going to go and hunt down Birdring. So they have to kind of respect this Tracer's presence. But it is very, very hard to push out of this doorway with Afara. Right? Because where can EQO go? He's got to kind of run through here to do anything, because Birdring is just watching this angle. You can't go through the sort of upper ground area, because Birdring's just watching. So if he does, he's going to get his head blown off. He can't afford to do that. And it makes me sad to see like Carpe still near where the team is. Like, Carpe needs to be rotating away. Carpe needs to be doing things on his own. He needs to be extremely proactive there. EQO is super low. Even goes for the melee kill there. Wait. We got to check. We have to check. There it is. I don't know how to get rid of this. That's rough, you know. It's weird to me to see Carpe like retreating this way towards the team. It's weird to see EQO still on this Farah when they're being so contested, so shut down. He shouldn't be on this Farah anymore. Like, Birdring's just gonna be looking for it, and like London, it made me happy to see that London didn't see 9 in the finals. At least she's epic. Oh my god, was that the... Wait, I saw something very important. There's the Hammond hat. The real hamster in it. It doesn't have a real hamster, it's a stuffed hamster, but still. Okay. So, if you're going to talk Widow Farah, well, it's Gardens. Interestingly enough, London Spitfire don't run Widow Farah. They were on Widow Tracer. I honestly kind of like this change-up. I like the change-up where you expect Widow Fire on both sides, but they run Widow Tracer instead because that's what they're comfortable with, or they're very willing to do that. Like it puts the enemy team a little bit off balance, and I think that it's just going to be Okay, let's talk about first jumps on this map. So Winston jump on first point is actually really interesting in terms of Li Jiang. So you can see that Sado has jumped here to the pillar. Alright, so Sado is taking control of this space. Actually, I think I have white, because Fusion are currently... Actually, I have orange. Let's go orange. So Fusion have taken control of this space, okay? Right, they have this area. This is to try and establish like a beachhead, and then you start pushing forward and grinding forward. London have kind of ignored that. Jess has actually done something a little bit more interesting. He's gone over the wall, and he's actually taking control of the point area. This, I think, is really clever because he knows that he's got his tracer coming in from this way. So he's basically buying the tracer an angle to come in from. It's a little bit sort of... He's not just fighting the tanks directly, he's just going, okay, well, I can cover this place. We can take control of the point here because you're going to have a Pharah that's pissing about up here and like trying to rock it down, but we're all still on the point and we've got a tracer on the ground. That gives us a real amount of control, right? That gives us a huge amount of control here because the Pharah is going to be massively less effective when you're fighting inside the point. So they've set themselves up in a position where they can fight inside the point. Now, the scary thing to me is that Badosin's out here. And Philly could just like sprint and get on Badosin. Might leave them a little bit overexposed, but hey. But it looks like Badosin just literally walks through. And you got to ask yourself now, like, what's the Pharah actually doing at this point? Carpe's going to die to that. Right, they know where Carpe is. I imagine they spotted him out or they scattered him out. This is what Widowmakers want to do anyway. They want to find like an angle. One headshot, Venomine, more than enough. Catch him, kill him. Okay, they're already in control of the point. Prophet's already doing what Prophet needs to do. Notice that all the DPS, Birdring's on 60%, Prophet's on 46%, EQO's on 24%. EQO got nothing done on that Pharah because of the positioning that London were occupying. Right, London don't want to play in the middle area. They want to play on the point for this point. Because they know their comp is better for it. Eco is now on the Tracer. Sado is feeding. This shouldn't happen. You shouldn't see a Winston dying to the machine gun of a Widowmaker. It's not like... I think Prophet got in behind him as well, judging from the DPS, or something else was hitting him, because that's just not... That shouldn't happen. Basically, there's no reason for that to happen, and I don't understand how it did. And this is where you're sort of watching this and you're going, Philly have checked out. Like, Philly are donezo. The Zen hit him? Yeah, something else was hitting him from behind. It's just... Winston should not die to damage that incremental. He shouldn't be that far forward to be in a position where he should die to that kind of damage. It's just bizarre. Like, you can see that Prophet's even, like, Prophet's looking to find a threat that just isn't there. Like, where is EQO? He's looking and playing defensively, trying to find EQO. He's like, oh, well, I need to protect Widow and Zen. EQO's not even there yet. So, like, what did this jump do? What did this engagement actually achieve? Where's the goals? Well, Sado jumped in, Gesture chased someone off. But where's he engaged from EQO? Carpe isn't set up anywhere special. Like, they jumped in, used some cooldowns, and then jumped out. And oh look, now we found Carpe. Good kill out of Boombox. Nice to see a moment of redemption. Using a trance, but again, some of the DPS said, like, you aren't going to flip this point. Oh look, like, they're just all over the place. Like, Philly are playing independently. You can see the gears are turning in Prophet's head. He's like, oh, I kind of want that. I kind of want to kill that. Finally, Sado peels. They're just waiting for the opportunity, and oh, okay, now it's go time. Now they can just go and do what they want, because they have Trance, the enemy team doesn't. Finally, Carpe comes to life. It's been a bit of a dead fish so far. Okay. This is a bad position to be in. It kind of goes without saying. Don't think it needs explaining to you guys that, you know, being on 99% to 0 is never a good position, because the enemy team just plays for a single victory condition, and that's all they need to do. Prophet just needs to go and harass the shit out of Boombox. If they can get it, then it works wonderfully. Just puts a ball on the back of Carpe. They can still pick this up, maybe. It's going to be tough, though. There's a lot of pressure on that corpse. And it's like, well, they need to. You need to res this, surely. Because if you don't, then this happens. You've just lost your Widowmaker player. Like, you can't just let that happen. Is the res used on something else earlier? I don't think it was. And I know that there's a lot of pressure there, but Neptuno is often want to go for this sort of resurrect. Maybe the corpse fell off the side? Neptuno already rezzed Carpe at the start of the fight. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there it is. It's because it's caught in the replay. Okay. Birdring just gets him come out of the spawn. And Neptuno rezzes it. And then this bomb is just disgustingly good. Because once that Widowmaker is gone, there's just no pressure on Bird. Like, the Birdring can kind of do what he wants, especially with Fury screening for him. And so Birdring just pops off like this. And again, I would still put this on, a lot of this on Poco. I think his Diva play with Defense Matrix especially looked really lackluster. His bombs are fantastic. Pff, speaking of fantastic bombs, Jesus. But yeah, like, Defense Matrix to cover sort of spawn camping is going to be very important. Defense Matrix to get a lot of this shit done, to stop a lot of this shit happening is so important. And yet the defensive Diva play isn't quite there from him. Ugh. And this is where it sort of gets hard to analyze anything aside from, looks like Philly are collapsing. Because you're like, okay, maybe there's some god tier team talk happening. Maybe there's some sort of redemption. This is a really nice. I think this Eichenwald one, by the way, this Eichenwald tutorial video, it's put together really nicely at points. I like Poco's style of play. I agree, not overall, not very defensive. Yeah, like, I think Poco gets a lot of well-deserved kudos for being like the best Diva bomber in the game. But he needs to work on Defense Matrix a lot. And this one feels like it has a slightly higher production value on it, even though everyone is literal bots. Like this looks super nice, right? This looks super cool.
Every time the payload reaches a checkpoint, the attackers score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock.
Also, I think this is the one where it has like the white and black instead of the horrible grey skins that they've been showing off so far. This has like the black and gold, like the shiny orange, like the copper looking orange. A lot of these have been showing like these weird grey skins. These ones are like black with copper. And with the white, looks a lot better. I want these skins. I don't think you get these skins. You get like horrible grey ones. Right, there we go. Everyone's been educated. Everyone knows what they're doing. Do you feel on the second day Philly lost more than London won? Yes. Although, I think London was just hitting their peak and Philly just collapsed.
Almost to a second stream, baby.
Whew. Whew. We are. Come up with a name for it. Thank you so much for the 17 months. Good lord. Long time.
when Sato goes forward, and the remainder of the London Spitfire are focusing the Philadelphia.
Good camera shot.
They need to get out of this.
Diva having a good time.
London is going to be playing their standard defense, Junkrat, and
Yep.
the Widow.
So this is standard could be on King's Row. I think the only thing that's really non-standard is where they're playing it, but this seems to be like an adaptation to the mono support comp coming out, where traditionally you'd see a lot of this comp being run like on high ground here, but that's more in like the Winston Diva era, where you would traditionally see the Junkrat would set a trap here, the Winston would try and jump in, oftentimes would get bounced out by a bomb, but if he does land, he lands in a trap anyway and just dies to the Arisa and Junkrat and all that kind of stuff. So it makes it very difficult to like engage directly, and you see stuff like a Hanzo try and set up here, and Widowmaker try and get up here, for example, and try and like crossfire these guys to death. Or sometimes the Bastion gets set up over here and then just kills everyone. Sometimes. Okay.
They must win here to keep their finals hopes alive. On board with EQO on the Hanzo now, looking for those early picks.
So this sort of low ground hold just seems more a response to, you know, people running a Reza Hog against this sort of stuff. They're just going to play it on the ground. Not really just worry about playing on the high ground, because that makes the halt a little bit too effective, I imagine. Makes the shield break as well. Like, the Winston Diva comps don't have the same level of shield break as 3 tanks and Hanzo, so you want to be really careful with that. They're looking for hooks. Again, both teams just trading hooks. And again, like it's so easy to like look at this and go, "Oh, Boombox, stop dying!" But it's like, is this his fault? Look, a Hulk just comes straight through. The hook comes straight through. Where's the defense matrix for him? Poco comes in, but it's too late. Boombox is already dead. It's just like, huh. Oh, T-Tors. Good lord. Hey, way, there we go. This makes me sad, because I don't think he even shoots him. And then he just runs out. Like, come on. Maybe he was out of ammo, but then they shouldn't be doing this combo if Boombox is out of ammo. It's kind of rough. And this is what you got to be scared of. This is why you run Junkrat on this point, because the Riptides can get to you through multiple angles. There's a lot of high ground, a lot of walls to protect you, a lot of good stuff. And I'm being hard on Poco, partially because he is like the darling of France. Like, all of France love Fusion because of Poco. It's like, He's in a lot of trouble now as well. A lot of trouble. Does manage to get back to his team. Notice that Prophet's on 73% already. Dragon's pretty good. That's no gesture pull, that's a bit slow. Carpe finally springs to life. They're going to let this one go. Prophet still has Riptide, but they're not going to use it. Okay. Oh, stretch. Nice. So Philly execute on the strategy, finally get it working. Prophet doesn't have enough space or time to get the Riptire out, so it doesn't work for him. Still has it for the next push though. Philly do manage to sort of get into second with a lot of resources though, and like Whole Hog Bongo is really potent here. How is Gesture this safe? He has 3 tanks shooting at him, he's taking no damage. He's just like charging up fucking support ultimates all day. I want to watch Nuss's ult charge. Look at Nuss and Bedosen. Just zoom up. Slurping up all that healing. Mmm, delicious. Delicious healing. Gets the Poco mech. That's the big one, because you ain't getting that one back. Gesture is getting away with murder again. Like, how is Gesture doing this? This is disgusting. Where did he even come from?
Another great Riptire. It's going to cost
He just appears in the back line. I imagine he dropped down from behind and just gets onto Neptuno and just kills Neptuno. He doesn't even have Primal Rage. He does end up getting punished for it finally, yeah, so I imagine he's up there. Like, why is Bedosin up there? The EQO can surely deal with this. And this is where you're like, okay, London are trolling, right? This is disgusting. This shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't have the Zenyatta doing this shit. The Mercy shouldn't be this close. It's kind of disgusting. The respawn's coming in earlier. Dragon Strike doesn't really get anything, does split stuff, but London just go aggressive on it. I love it. Like this to me is the difference between London and Philly. Remember at the end of day one? Remember on that Volsky map where Philly just sort of all back off to a dragon? Philly would all back off here. London, they go, fuck it, let's engage. Throw the bomb in, they lose gesture, but whatever. Sacrificing your Winston is fine. Gives Birdring enough space. Can res him, no problem. Everyone can find angles. There we go. Kills. Now they can hold choke. Whereas Carpe this entire time, it's very difficult to get an angle, like, when the enemy team is pushing you this close. Remember? They were doing this all Dorado as well, like, the Widowmaker has a really difficult time when you don't let her get any space. Jester's in trouble, but you can see that, oh, Fury's trying to get him out. Fury's trying to save him. Now, gets ulted, he's just going to start knocking people into the team. Precious Shadow out. Jester is playing, like, out of his mind at the moment, and is doing so well. But they are giving this double sniper comp zero space. There is zero room to breathe for Philadelphia Fusion. They are not being allowed to take a single inch going forward here.
Neptuno coming up on another Valkyrie though. EQO will have his Dragon Strike soon. They can push forward through this choke point with the use of those two ultimates. All right, diving in. Time to get aggressive.
They dive in. Neptuno follows him. Why is like this? This is where you think, okay, they are trolling. Right, this shouldn't be happening. And yeah, it's... But like, as much as I tease this, like this is Carpe doing nothing, right? He might be able to blow Bedosin's head off here, but he has to be super careful that he doesn't just die to him. This is not the engagement range that Widowmaker wants. And with that Discord Orb and Infrasight, like Bedosin has a better shot. Like Carpe does kind of have one, but he's so low that this could go really badly. So Carpe's doing nothing, doing nothing, doing nothing, doing nothing. Fury's almost dead, but survives. No one can finish him off. No one can push him far enough. And it's like they've done such a good job of just shutting down Carpe that they don't have to give a shit. Finally, a couple of kills come through.
I think taking advantage of that over-aggression from London.
I mean, they cut off the sight lines though for Carpe, so the payload does start moving. Fortunately for the Fusion, but now with another player down, they may be in trouble.
Finally, they're going to dislodge Zenyatta, the flanking Zenyatta. Trying to use him as bait, but it's not really going to work out. They're in a lot of trouble now. Philly needs to capitalize. Like, they just do nothing. Why is Bedosin getting away with this? God, if he survived, I would just, like, keyboard fucking thrown away. This just feels so slow. It's like it doesn't feel like Philly anymore. Philly play fast, they play aggressive, and yet they're playing so passively. They're playing so like, oh, Bedosin's behind. Where's the kill? Carpe's like trying to set up over here, but London aren't playing over there. London are playing on top of you. London are not wasting time. They're not doing any fancy movements. They're just jumping onto Philly and just going, yeah, we are just going to fight you and brawl you because we think we're better at that, and they're not wrong. Like, Bedosin's clearly feeling spicy at the moment. He wants to take a couple of fights, but don't blame him.
That means Philadelphia Fusion coming back with another Valkyrie up soon. London needs to make the most out of the two support ultimates that they are going to have remaining.
30 seconds left in it. Philly, just huge deficit. Boombox is not going to have Transcendence for the next fight. Again, London, not waiting. Not waiting at all. What prompts this dragon? You see that they're all in the alleyway, and the dragon sort of pins them in, but doesn't actually cross where they are. And so London just trance it, wait it out. It's like, where is Philly? What are Philly doing during all this time? They use that Dragon Strike to regroup further back than they were. Like, okay, hey, look, they're actually fighting the enemy. Right, okay, this is not too bad, although there is a Riptide coming up, but might not even be out in time. Gesture can try and stall. Looks like they're just going to let it go. Yep, so they'll let it go. If I remember correctly, EQO does something on this point that makes me lose my freaking mind. Right, this is where Double Sniper starts to come alive again. Riptide comes through, just collects a free kill. Why not? And finally feels like Philly have momentum. Like, this is what you talk about momentum and tempo, right? All this game, so far, London have been sat on top of Philadelphia Fusion. EQO and Carpe have had no room to breathe at all. And now, finally, well, Spitfire's tanks are chasing Philly's tanks around, and that's giving space to EQO. You can see Boombox unmolested here, Carpe's unmolested. Like, no one is being damaged, no one's being harassed. It's all very simple for them now to just set up and look for a couple of kills. And when they're allowed to play, well, Philadelphia Fusion look good. It's just London did such a good job of stopping them from playing that it was all London all the time. Neptuno. You know, as much as it will be easy to mock Neptuno again, I'm going to continue on this theme. Okay? So Neptuno goes over there. Poco doesn't even seem to notice, and then watch the defense matrix come up. Oh, that would have been useful. That would have been good if you just framed Neptuno in that one. Like, it feels like Neptuno went over there to help Poco get out, and then Poco just, like, went, yep, I'm out, I'm done, bye, and then Neptuno dies. I've sped this up, there we go. Big ol' kill onto Nuss. So they're nervous, they're a bit scared. Huge kill onto Nuss. And Mercy can get back to a fight pretty quickly. Bomb's going to buy some space. Shall we submit this footage to Jane and play Guess My Rank? Because that's some plat shit right there. Jesus. Boomer's just can't get around the corner fast enough. EQO caught. Ugh. The thing is, you can't see this on this footage, but I was watching, because the way they have the arena laid out, okay? So you have like the main screen in the middle. Then on either side, you have like all the players. And then you have all the player cams on the bottom. And you can see all their little faces. And the Philadelphia Fusion player faces were so checked out. Were just so like done with this shit. That it was just abysmal. Beautiful art. So you have like the game in the middle, and then you have all the faces and all the heroes. And it was just like, Philly looked done by this point. It's just rough. Okay, one push, one chance. They both have trances. Bedosin should be a target of focus here. Dragon Strike goes in, goes through. London, again, just play it aggro. Beautiful start for them, though. Still get... London play it like half aggro, which this shit annoys me. Team goes in. They kind of like... Like, Badosin's all the way back here. Like, Badosin cannot...
Their Overwatch finals hopes alive. They gotta win.
Like, if Badosin's going to trance this Drag Strike, he needs to go in with the team here. Because that's what kills Profit. Badosin doesn't reach him in time. Valkyrie should come online. Big old kill. Love the instant aggression coming out of Sado as well, just pressuring straight away. Like, this is what you want out of Sado, especially now that he has Primal Rage. Now that he's got Profit in the corner, you can just stay there, bash him around, kill him, good stuff. And you're like, oh, Philly, you're doing it, Philly, you're doing it, Philly, you're doing it. Don't die to the bomb this time, hey! Gesture dies, again, crucial aspect on finishing off overtime pushes, killing that Winston off. Fury going to be removed. Now that they can deal with things one at a time, it's going to be a big deal. Profit comes out in the Sombra, but they realise it pretty much instantaneously. Huh, okay. So it's overtime, so they will not get another attempt if London have more than 1 minute on the clock. If it's less than 1 minute on the clock, then time gets added to both teams, I believe. So Philly need to hold on here. Right, they can either try and play for a draw, they can try and play for like the win. So they need to get a miracle hold here. They need these holds to go really well. Teams running standard mono support, Hanzo's. London have been playing this comp better overall, so I think I'd be feeling pretty fresh and confident as London. Like, Philly have looked kind of shaky on this comp, which is surprising because they really did go heavy on it. But London looking better overall. Hey, get the hit on Badosin, but look at this miraculous thing where, you know, the other tanks help him get out. Where Defense Matrix sort of picks up a lot of the damage and Boombox, and Fury even like dashes in and pushes everybody back. Oh, it's an incredible thing when tanks support each other. Hey, they're doing it. They're doing it. It's working. Big old kill. This is why, okay, well, they traded the Hanzo, which honestly I think is pretty good. Like, King's Row is very, very Hanzo-centric. Dragon Strikes are really good at just putting across like here or putting across here. They force the enemy team to basically stand back in this corner. Very, very nice little tool, so slowing down Profit's always going to be a big deal. Oh, ho, ho. Little bit luck is there. But this is a really nice halt position by Gesture. It's not just above the point. So he waits for the defense matrix to go down, throws the halt. Notice that it's not just like above, it's above and to the left. So that when the hook comes online for Badosin, it's a little bit late, he just hooks underneath and gets him. Nice little adaptation from Gesture. Valkyrie comes online for Neptuno. Still anyone scared to fight for, but spawn advantage is going to be a factor now. Like, Boombox is coming back, Profit's rejoined the fight already. Looks like London are fine then in this one guy though. They know they have the Dragon Strike coming up, so they can just wait it out. EQO of course already has his. It's a little bit rough, but Badosin seems to have this happen to him quite a lot. Can't do that. You gotta respect, and like the whole Hog decision there as well is kind of rough. You gotta respect Carpe. Like, you can't just disrespect him by just jumping into a infra site. It's not gonna work.
Absolutely, he was. The infra site helps him find Badosin, and that wastes a lot of time on the attack for the London Spitfire. Badosin
still okay.
Into irrelevancy.
You can see. Oh, look at this. Look at the setup.
On King's Row, and then Carpe with a beautiful shot lined up.
Dragon Strike comes right through. Good dragon out of EQO. Like, this is the value of holding on to this dragon. This sort of makes me very, very happy to see, because EQO's dragons have been spotted. Dragon Strike comes in, clear sign the enemy wants to engage. Oh, Dragon Strike back. Fills up the corridor. London is all about sort of these very narrow alleyways and very narrow corridors. Dragon Strike very, very good here. So, continues doing work.
Dragon Strike defends again. Yeah, the Dragon Strike cut off the members, the tank line there.
Orisa, I like Orisa Hog. I know Smex is like the Orisa Hog advocate 2017, well 2018. He loves Orisa Hog. I think that if you're duoing, it's a great combo. If you are playing with a stranger, it's probably not going to work super well. Like, you have to know what you're doing. London changed things up. Doop, doop, doop. No, that line there is bad. Like this, like this. A little ear, horn. Bring it back down. Right, this is my terrible goat. Yeah, it's time for goats. This is where you're getting a little bit worried. The thing with goats on this map, though, also I love the shadows here are going freaking nuts. If they ran goats from the start against this mono support stuff, I'd really like it, because the Zarya gives you kind of a guaranteed easy win. They can just sort of claw their way through the map using Graviton Surges, and they'll be fine. By swapping to it now, though, it's a little bit tougher, because they're going to be playing into stuff like, you know, Bongo, Whole Hog. So that's going to make it tougher. Diva Bombs. It's going to make it tougher. Generally what you'll see happen is they'll either set up sort of in the corner on the point here, or they'll go all the way through and like come to the high ground, stuff like that. Like push them off the high ground, force them down. The key with trying to deal with goats on the point is like how well can your Roadhog benefit here, and how do you manage like dropping down here. So you can see that Poco's sort of being set up to contest the point. Trying to find some stuff. You can see that Boombox is even looking for angles at the moment. Now they're going to start cycling through, run away from the Dragon Strike. It's fine. Run to high ground. Run back to low ground. Everyone's been forced to low ground. Like, this is the mistake, I think, where everyone just ends up on low ground. You can't have that happen. You've got to kind of exploit the fact that goats cannot move up and down super easily. Why is it called goats? Because the team that basically pioneered it is called goats. So it became the goats comp. Surely goats shouldn't work against a team with ults. In theory, it's just like none of the stuff really worked well. Like, they gave the goats comp a lot of ground and basically let London, like, London's objective of running through here is A, to avoid the Dragon Strike, but B, to also push Philly off the high ground. Like, if they can get everyone on equal footing, everyone onto the low ground, they're in a nice little place. Then it's like, okay, well, if this is going to happen, then you need to get Sado and Boombox together and push out the enemy team. Like, you need to use this Whole Hog Supercharger combo. So Supercharger comes down, okay, well, where's Boombox? Too late. It's already dead. Gestures just run at it. Like, that's where you needed the Whole Hog. Ults come through and nothing is happening with them. Now this ult's coming out, but Boombox is now isolated on his own. It's just getting burnt down. So it's like all the ults just fire one after another, after another, after another, and nothing comes of it. They needed to just get the Bongo down, the Whole Hog out, and push everything out. Right? The Reinhardt cannot run at you if you're using a Whole Hog plus Supercharger. He just can't. His barrier just dies. So you need to get that working, you need to get that running, and then just like push them out and deny them stuff. But the other big thing as well is you need to make sure that Zarya never gets started. If the Zarya gets started and they start getting Graviton Surges and you don't have an answer, I find the Doomfist fascinating. A fascinating choice. Second point, King's Row, there's a lot of walls, a lot of narrow spaces. He's going to have a good time. Like, it can work. The issue is, like, you can basically, the idea is you can, like, push around the enemy team. You can basically dictate how they move and control a lot of their space. It's just going to be difficult to, like, kill Reinhardt or Zarya or anything like that, or D.Va with the Doomfist. Personally, I would probably like to see a Pharah more, maybe even a Junkrat, but the Doomfist, Carpe goes for it. This is like, we are going all in. Let's put all our chips on the table. Hey, hey, ooh, spicy. What is that dragon? Again, London going aggro as hell. Just chasing in. I love the fact that Gesture just like chases the bomb in. Almost gets the Earth Shadow. It looks like the Zarya bubble stopped it on the Reinhardt. Dragon Strike stops a lot of the aggression. You can see that Gesture's just getting bounced all over the place. Carpe finds the angle, finds the punch. Carpe's finding the punches. Moira's got no fade, you can definitely go for it. Looking for targets, there we go, nice, gets another one, finds all the spots. Carpe playing out of his mind. Like, it's so common in pro level Overwatch to see Doomfist come out and like narrowly miss every single punch. So to see those punches landing is a big deal. There is still a huge threat here because there is no D.Va, there is no Zenyatta, and there is a Graviton Surge coming. So Coalescence coming through, getting a lot of results. Carpe connects with Gesture's charge. There's the grab, and what can they do? Nothing is going to stop Birdring just doing this over and over and over again with this team comp, and that's sort of my problem with it. They are setting themselves up to lose. As long as Birdring can build these Graviton Surges, they are going to be fine. And I love this adaptation. I love this adaptation so much that Birdring swaps to the Pharah. When I saw the Pharah come out, I was like, yeah, this is it. Because the Doomfist works great against this team comp, but there's nothing to address the Pharah here on second. And especially when you start getting into this space, the Pharah can actually bounce over the pub super well. Like, she can play above this pub and just sort of float around and come at you on top. She can come at you from the front, she can come at you from behind. She can do kind of whatever she wants in this space. So Pharah is actually really good here. Carpe can't deal with it. Eco is going to have a tough time dealing with it. How do you stop this? How do you stop the Pharah just shitting all over you non-stop? You can't. I would prefer to see like a Mercy coming out, but I understand they want to keep hold of sound barrier, so why not? Beautiful Usher. I love this. I love this so much. The fact that Gesture like uses his position behind the point to like use it to mask the Earth Shatter and then gets the value off it is so huge. Shadow goes down, they just drop a bomb in front of it as well. Makes it super hard. Poco drops, everyone drops. Easy. And I think this is where Eco drives me fucking insane. There. Third point. King's Row. Do not play Pharah. Do not play Pharah. Play Hanzo. Play Genji. Play something that isn't Pharah. Play Junkrat. Like, do not play the Pharah though. Like, what is Pharah giving you that Junkrat wouldn't in this case? What is Pharah giving you that Hanzo wouldn't in this case? Pharah can like get onto these high ground positions and fire some rockets in, and then come in like from below and barrage people, which is really cool looking, but it's slow. She can stand back here and rocket down, but Hanzo can do that with arrows and just sort of slowly wear people down even better. Dragon Strike is really good through these narrow corridors. Barrage is a little bit too close, a little bit too easy to spot out. They've got a D.Va, they'll catch it. What does Pharah give you here? What does Pharah give you here that other heroes won't give you here? Her mobility is so hampered by the rooftop and by like the amount of places that other people can get onto high ground that it's just not gonna be enough. And so you're just going to see London run into them and just muscle them down. And I was just looking at this and it's just like, why are you on the Pharah? Okay, now you're on the D.Va. Now everyone's swapping to tanks. Everyone's getting desperate. Gesture's just holding super close to spawn. They're doing a really good job of staggering people out. Get rid of the D.Va mech. That's huge because that's going to be a big factor in stalling. Boombox does have the Coalescence. Okay, they can stall this one out. Remember that Philly's objective is to basically win this out with less than 1 minute to spare. It just doesn't manifest. Boombox is trying. 12, 11, 10, 9. Now they're playing for a draw. Now they're playing for a draw. Pharah has boobs. Yeah, Pharah has, I am sure, astoundingly good boobs. I tend to play female characters in games, but even I realize there's a time and a place to pick the waifu. That ain't it. The thing that like Junkrat will give you there is you can just stand back with a Junkrat. You can get Riptires over the top. It's very difficult to dodge a Riptire in that space. You can basically gum up any aggressive play by just bouncing them back with Conkbines and putting traps down. It gets very, very difficult for them to do stuff. Pharah can flank better than Hanzo and Junk. How? Pharah can go underneath, sure, but it's a very slow play. It's very predictable, and if you don't get anything with it, it's not going to work much. Hanzo can just get to the same places that Pharah can on top. It's more dangerous from long range. It's more likely to one-shot people, and Dragon Strike is a much better alternate. So I don't see the value of the Pharah compared to the Hanzo. Junkrat you just bring for the Riptide and you sort of use it to just push back. Riptide is going to be a better ultimate in that space than Barrage is, so the Junkrat could work as well. Junkrat can take the high ground just as easily. What can she give that Junk and Hanzo can't? Okay, technically correct. Yes. Hanzo and Junkrat cannot go underneath. Suggesting Hanzo? He's like... I am starting to practice Hanzo because I have to. If I want to play DPS, I have to be able to play that hero. He's too good not to. So London make the adaptation. London doing a nod to the gladiators here, actually. So notice that there's 5 people here. I think that people are still a little bit too savvy to this. And I think they like the thing that gladiators did when they did this comp was that they moved through here and then they moved straight through to around the back so that the enemy team couldn't get a good look at their team comp. Here London sort of stop here and piss around here for a bit, and I'm sure during this time they're going, hang on, I can't see birdering. So like the thing that gladiators did was they ran straight around, like there was a big deception going on there because now birdering's popped up but Sadow's just still there. It is kind of nice that he like forces Sado though to stay in that position. Like Sadow's kind of rooted there, and now Gesture can just run into him. Lel. So like it's less flashy, but it still kind of works because Sadow's had to drop his barrier in an awkward position to try and stop the push out here, and he's left him super vulnerable. So Gesture still on the point. No, they can't let a third go, but they're all dying. You got to get on it. You got to get on it. No one gets on it. Why didn't Sado drop earlier? I don't know. I know Ryan was really cheesed off by this because it's just like, dude, you can't just drop this barrier here. Maybe they felt good. It's like, haha, we know what you're doing, London. Let's barrier your Widowmaker off, and then it's just like, oh, the Widowmaker was a deception all along. It's heartbreaking. And London win. What's really annoying is during this time I moved into a VIP box to sit down in a very comfortable little spot with sort of Jane, EVA, Harblue, Ryan, Miska. We were in this guy's VIP booth. So that you see like between these things, like between these two bands at the top, the VIP booths are all up there. They are very comfortable and they have food in them. Yeah, it felt like Philly just checked out. It really did feel like Philly checked out. And so, yeah, also about the, like, I know Styles talked about this in the past, but the trophy is literally, like, solid metal. Eat the rich. So yeah, they have all these custom-made jackets as well. Apparently they had, like, a box of these jackets. There's also a box of Philly ones. So I would love to get my hands on a Philadelphia Fusion World Champions one. But yeah, this thing is just pure solid metal. Pure solid metal. There he is, that numpty.
Now, to give away the first finals trophy, we have none other than Nate Nanzer here. Nate, a couple words.
Yeah, Sty's like making sure that he doesn't fall over. He's just holding Birdering in place.
Awesome job this weekend. What an amazing inaugural season.
This is still weird to me. Like, I still find it weird, but like Jack hefts this thing up. This thing is heavy. Like, they were really legitimately worried about the players lifting it on stage while being nervous, like full of adrenaline, because it, like, apparently Jack hurt his shoulder doing that.
Just huge moment, but today belongs to my players. You guys been amazing.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Like, it's a very American thing to hand the trophy to the owners. They do eventually like start passing it around, but I think if you look, you can see like it's like a weighty piece of, it's like a mace. You know, you can really bludgeon someone with that. I was happy to see the MVP go to Prophet. I do think he deserved it.
MVP is Prophet.
No surprise to see Prophet get it. I think it was well deserved. You could make an argument for Gesture, but Prophet really played out of his mind that entire series. Really, really solid. Oh, right, that is the entire grand finals. Good lord. It was one hell of an event to be there in person. I heartily recommend going to the next year's one if you get a chance. It was not like anything, like, I think the only thing that can compare with atmosphere was the World Cup at BlizzCon. If you get a chance to go to any of the World Cup group stages, absolutely do so. But the World Cup at BlizzCon is phenomenal. The atmosphere is great because everyone gets behind it. Beyond that, like, it was one hell of an event. It was a really, really solid event, and I'm glad that the finals seemed to do really well. I was meaning to rewatch it because it's so involving in person. It's very, very difficult. Like, I found this when I visited LA, and like, it's very difficult watching it in person and watching it to the live. It's very hard to like keep track of everything that's happening. So I needed to rewatch it as well. So I get my little selfish excuse. Alright guys, I'm going to probably call it there. We'll be back tomorrow with Coaching the Many at 10 o'clock. If you haven't submitted footage and want to submit footage to Coaching the Many, anyone can do so. All the info is in chat, so feel free to do that. I'll be interested to see what you've got. So yeah, Sty creeping behind. Sty is a creepy son of a bitch. Right, otherwise thank you for watching to the end, guys. I've been Josh, One Voice Amongst Many. I think I'm going to like redoing that because I want to rebrand myself, right? I'm fed up of One Amongst Many. It's too clunky. Okay, this is too clunky. I'm going to just go by Ohm more. You know, I think Josh is One Amongst Many works, but I'm Ohm. Good to see you. I don't know. Bloodborne tomorrow as well. Bloodborne in the afternoon. Otherwise, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. One Against Many? Yeah, I need to change it to that because everyone calls me that. Owned comes through like the emotes anyway with OMD. Anyway, right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's been an absolute pleasure. Long-winded outro, but whatever. Toodles. Music, go.